Hey everybody, welcome back for another memory keeping plan with me. This time it's for the week of September 22nd through the 28th. And we ended up going to a local Renaissance fair this weekend. So I decided to use this kit from Cinderella Paper called Darkling Sky because I was placing an order with her anyway at the time, and this was the closest thing I could find to Renaissance themed art. I believe it's some sort of reference to some sort of romantasy novel or series. If you know what this is a reference to, let me know. That's not really my genre for reading. Nothing against it. I just don't read it. So I don't know the references, but I did think this was really beautiful art by Kitnish Jess, and I think it kind of fit the vibes of a Renaissance fair. This week, that you're seeing here, I did place a big order from Pink Planner Shop for a bunch of printables because she was having like this hugely discounted sale where the files were like $2 or less. So I did end up getting the Renaissance art that Kitnish Jess also did a couple years ago. Maybe it was last year. I feel like it was a couple years ago already. Because so few shops like actually carried that art who do, printing and cutting for you. So I have a bunch of printable files now. I have a good printer. I don't have good paper, and I don't have a cutting machine. I am looking into getting a cutting machine probably around Black Friday because I figure I have stuck with this hobby for 10 years now. Maybe now is the time to invest in some equipment to be able to do more of my own stuff, because a lot of shops have closed. A lot of shops are international, the ones that like I've shopped with, and like it just takes a long time to get things, and I want to keep supporting those shops, but sometimes the shipping costs are just really high now. And then also there's a lot of kits, and this is why I placed an order with Pink Planner Shop. There's a lot of kits that like I feel like people don't really pick up, or art sets I should say, that only the printable shops have. So like I need to be able to print it myself. And I know Litter Designs has a very reasonably priced print partnership with Pink Planner Shop, so I might use that as well because like I like shopping with Litter Designs. I've found her quality really nice over the years. So it's not that I'm like trying to totally get out of using shops who send you a physical product. Like I love my tried and true shops. I will keep supporting them. But there are some times where I'm just like, maybe a printable version of this would be better. So let me know if you print and cut mostly for personal use. Let me know like if you have any opinions about which machine is better. Like I'm probably going to get a Silhouette, but I feel like I can just get the smaller one, which I think is the Portrait, because I'm literally just going to be using it for cutting 8.5 by 11 sheets of sticker paper. That's the plan. But if I need to get the bigger one, let me know if you have any opinions about that. I don't know. It shouldn't be this difficult to make a decision, and I do kind of want to get the cheapest option because I don't know how much I'm really going to use it. This is literally just for personal use. I am not planning to do this for any sort of remotely commercial use, but I don't know. Let me know if you have any thoughts about that. I definitely already have ideas of sticker paper I want to use for printables. I've gotten some recommendations there, but I'm still trying to figure out the cutting machine part of it. Anyway, that's a lot about printing and cutting stickers. Yeah, I think my current printer should work perfectly fine, but it's just the cutting machine part I'm trying to figure out. There were a lot of full box options with this, and I ended up not putting a full box on Friday just because I had a lot of little appointments and things to mark. I kind of wish I had used the scroll full box instead of the books full box, because that would have made it more Renaissance-y, although I'm trying to remember my history. I definitely learned this as an English major of like when scrolls stopped being a thing and when bound books became a thing. But I mostly focused after a certain point on like things that were 19th century and more recent. Didn't spend a whole lot of time in like pre 1700s, I'm gonna be honest. Especially because, yeah, I'm not gonna get into that. But anyway, so I can't remember when we stopped using scrolls as a society, as a human species, but I do kind of wish I had used that. I had a little bit of gold foil left over from a Sadie Stickers freebie, so I decided to bring that in. There were like little bumblebees and butterflies and like picket fences and kind of old style doors that I thought matched the vibes of this kit really well. And as I've been wont to do lately, I did color block this week. I didn't do any of my habits though this week, so I had a lot of room in the sidebar. So I used a weekly tracker for my dinners, and then I cut up this random strip of glitter washi that Cinderella Paper kits have. I don't really know what the purpose of it is other than to like fill up space on the page. So I just cut it up and used those as headers in the sidebar. And then I love that this art featured like multiracial couples. I ended up picking the two brunettes, the ones that look alike, but that's just because my husband and I are both brunette. Neither of us are really that pale though, but that's fine. I love this girl up in the corner. It's very pretty. So starting with Monday, the first thing I marked was that it was the autumn equinox. So I'm going to mark that with a little gold foiled pumpkin from Plannahannah. And then the week prior, there were lots of cities around the country that there were little like Easter eggs that MCR, My Chemical Romance, was going to have shows there. Like there were posters posted in certain cities that they hadn't been to yet. There were like chalk outlines of their lettering. And so this was the day that they finally announced the new tour dates for next year in the US. So the second leg of their North America tour, which includes a show in San Diego. So we'll talk more about that later. And then I went and taught my earlier classes. And then in between classes, I came home and took a nap. So all of those things at the top of Monday are from Sweet Eva's Paper. I went and taught my night classes, so I'm going to mark those with these backpacks from Beneva Creations, who I would like to place another order with. It seems like they've been able to figure out the Canada to US shipping situation, even with the tariffs, which still infuriates me that that's even a thing we have to deal with, but oh well, I don't control these things. I did some grading, that's also from Beneva Creations, and then Monday and Tuesday this week, my husband had some late meetings that he had to go to. So he works in public service, so he has to go to community meetings every now and then, and he's very committed to that. He's very much about public outreach and actually engaging with the public beyond just like basic legal requirements for projects. So I admire that about him. What I got out of it was free catering for dinner, honestly. He brought home a sandwich both nights, and the banh mi on Monday was really good. It was from like a local place. The sandwich on Tuesday was from Mendocino Farms. Let me know if you have Mendocino Farms in your area. I think they're okay. There's just not a lot of flavor to it. It's like Panera, but a little fancier. And I don't know, it's just fine. I actually prefer Panera if I'm being honest, but anyway, it was free food, so I'm not going to complain too much. And then I watched Mike Birbiglia's special called The New One, which is a comedy special all about welcoming his first child into the world. It's quite funny. Tuesday, I started the day by just kind of watching the My Chemical Romance Boston concert that was at Fenway Park a couple weeks earlier, which was a lot of fun because they did like multiple of their vampire themed songs. So I think they opened the B stage set with Vampire Money, which is a really silly song making fun of Twilight. So I kind of love that as someone who's not really into Twilight. And then they closed the show with Vampires Will Never Hurt You, which is from their first album. If you don't know, if you don't care about My Chemical Romance, that's completely fine. It's just kind of my obsession the last few months. It's been getting me through all the feelings of this year, quite frankly. So I marked that with a Plannahannah microphone. I did yoga. Those stickers are from Sweet Eva's Paper. I had therapy, so that's from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. And then I had my office hours and did some grading, so that's from Beneva Creations. I voiced over a plan with me. I ran the dishwasher because it needed to happen, and then my husband had another late meeting, so those are from Sweet Eva's Paper. And then the week prior was when Jimmy Kimmel got suspended, so this night I was watching both Josh Johnson's take on it as well as Last Week Tonight with John Oliver's take on the whole situation. So are there other people who have been silenced and fired who are not as privileged as Jimmy Kimmel? Absolutely. And that's not okay. But I think it is really telling of the times we're in about how that whole situation went down. Wednesday, it was really cloudy, but still warm. We were still kind of in that weird soupy weather that I talked about in the last plan with me. So I used a little teacup from Corks and Corks Co. because I thought it matched the kit. It's from one of their fall samplers. Then I went and taught my classes, excuse me. I had a lesson plan, so those are both from Sweet Eva's Paper, and then I came home and took another nap before going to my night classes. And then after my night classes, the part of town that I was in, it was not raining, but as I was driving home on the freeway, it starts pouring, and there was also like a bit of lightning, so that was kind of exciting. I love rain for the most part, probably because I don't get as much of it as we should here in California. So that was fun. So I used one of my cute Molly umbrella stickers from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. I didn't know that was going to happen. So I think I was just kind of surprised. I'm like, oh, it's raining. This is fun. Thursday was my sister-in-law, so my husband's older sister's birthday. I heard she went to New Orleans for her birthday. Good for her. I hope she had a great time. I would love to go to New Orleans someday. So I marked that with a Cinderella paper cake, and then I used a Sweet Ava's paper sticker to mark placing a big order from Pink Planner Shop. It was my first time buying printables from that shop, and fun fact, the name of that shop, anytime I read it, so it's Pink Planner Shop, I always think of Pink Pony Club, so I just kind of go, Pink Planner Shop. That's me being stupid for a second, I apologize, but that's all I can think of with that shop name. So yeah, basically it's kits that I'm planning to use like next year, so you won't see them for a while. And also I got to figure out my printer and paper and cutting situation with that, but eventually you'll see those kits. I scheduled an interview that I didn't make it to the second round for. We're not going to talk about it. I did my exercises, and then Clover had a vet appointment this day, just a regular checkup, and she needed her vaccinations updated. So we give her gabapentin before her appointments. It doesn't seem to actually like hit her that much, but we try to subdue her just a little bit because she can be a little violent at the vet. That cat icon is from Plain Hannah. Then I had my office hours and grading, and then I took Clover to her appointment. The vet said she could probably lose like half a pound, which is hilarious because most of her life we've been trying to get her to gain weight. And Clover's like, lady, I already don't like you. How dare you tell Jessica that I need to lose weight? I like eating. And then she got her vaccines updated. She had to restart her kitten series of vaccines last year because she had FIP, and that is an immune system complication. So now she should be good for the next 3 years, like a normal adult cat. And then we also got her chest x-rays done because she's still coughing, and the consensus after the x-rays were done was that she still definitely has asthma, so we just are continuing with her inhaler as usual. So I marked all of that. Other than that, seems like she's fine. So that's cool. Hopefully we can get back on track with just having normal routine vet visits. So that vet sticker is from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. I watched Josh Johnson videos this evening, and then I had this annoying little cough that I still have a couple weeks later that started this evening. So I marked that with an allergy sticker from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. because I think it's a complication of allergies. I never had allergies before, but the last couple of years it seems like I do. So that sucks for me. Friday, I marked my husband working from home, and then I left to go to a medical appointment. My husband was in charge of getting My Chemical Romance tickets. So he managed to get 5 tickets for me, him, and my 3 sisters for their San Diego show, which is almost a year from now. Kind of ridiculous. And we managed to get tickets in my sister's budget range. So that is good. We're like in the way nosebleeds, but I think it should be good. We'll have kind of like a sideways view of the main stage, but I think if they keep the same B stage setup, we should have a good view of that. So I'm looking forward to that. It's something I want to share with my sisters if we can. So we somehow got tickets for that. And then I had my appointment, and then I also, since I was already in the area, I decided to get my COVID and flu boosters. So that vaccine Molly is my last one from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. from a sheet I had. And then I went and got a Happy Meal. It was another BTS Happy Meal. That sticker's from Bella Planella. And then I tried to pick up a key for something that I need at work, and the people weren't there, even though it was during their operating hours. I'm like, I am not waiting an hour for you to come back from lunch. So I put in this suck it Sweet Ava's paper sticker because I was just irritated. It's just a waste of my time, quite frankly. And then I did more grading. So that's from Beneva Creations. And then we went out to a newer Mexican restaurant in our area that we really liked. So it's been kind of hard to find Mexican food that we like here in Sacramento, especially because my husband is Mexican. So like he's got opinions, and I do too. But we went to this place called Oaxaca, which was really nice. So that icon's from Scribble Prints Co. and the date night script is from Magical Sticker Co. And then we watched Great British Bake Off, and I watched Cristela Alonso's latest comedy special. And then I marked Moderna arm because I guess last year I forgot that I got Pfizer, and then this year I switched back to Moderna because that's what my healthcare provider had. And I was kind of feverish and my arm hurt for like 2 days. It sucked. Saturday, my husband had to work at an event and he brought candy. So I marked that with a Plan Hannah sticker. It was Oski the Bear's 84th birthday, who is the mascot for my alma mater. I was up from like 3 to 5 a.m. with like a fever, and also because I'm a side sleeper. So anytime my arm hurts, like I can't sleep. I filmed my October lineup this day. My arm still hurt, and I was just really antsy because I couldn't really go and do anything because I didn't feel great. And then we watched Stranger Things, so that Friends Don't Lie sticker is from Carly Plans. Sunday was the Renaissance Fair day, so I marked that with this little Shakespeare Molly from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. I finally got to use one of these because we haven't done anything like Shakespearean lately since I bought them, and Shakespeare's Renaissance, so that's fun. We've got some beignets from a local like food truck, which were really good, and we also got a meat pie that wasn't very good. It was kind of expensive for not being that good, but I marked that with a pie from Once More with Love. And then kind of the highlight of this event was definitely the archery tournament as well as the joust, because that was really interactive and fun. So I marked that with this Olympics Molly from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. My husband, though, had been out in the heat the day before and really wasn't feeling very well, so we didn't stay at this like that long. We stayed for a few hours. But besides like the archery and the joust, there weren't a lot of things going on. We did watch this one band that was kind of like a minstrel band called Rats and the Haggis, and they were fun. But that was when the sun was starting to come out. It had been cloudy in the morning, but then it got really sunny and hot in the afternoon. So after we watched the band, we went home. I read White Teeth. That book is from Corks and Quirks Co. That couple is from Beneva Creations, and then we finished season 1 of Stranger Things, so the Demogorgon is also from Carly Plans. Can't believe I managed to make it through that at the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you've ever been to a Ren Fair. Let me know how yours is, and I will talk to you next time. Bye!